Hi everyone, I hope you're having an awesome day. Today we're going to talk about something very important, and that's understanding your credit card fees. Credit cards are very important tools to have in your financial tool belt. Understanding how they work is also vitally important. So let's go ahead and dig right in here. Let me get me out of the way, and we will go over how your credit card fees work here. Alright, so when you get a credit card, you're going to get your facts about interest rates and finance charges. Okay, so this is just an example right here. It has an annual percentage rate, which is also called APR for all your purchases. It has an introductory rate, okay, of 0%. And we're going to get into how this works as well. After that APR of 0%, it's going to have a 19.24% APR on your purchases. Okay, it also has a 0% introductory APR for 21 months for balance transfers. Okay, there are fees for balance transfer. Each credit card is going to be different, which we're not really going to touch base on that, but we will touch base on how the balance transfer works. What happens if you don't pay off that full amount after that introductory rate? Okay, and then of course we have cash advantages, and this one has a city flex plan, which we're not going to get into because it's going to be different for each credit card. But understanding all of this is vitally important. Imagine you have a friend, and we're going to call this friend credit card Charlie. Now, Charlie's nice enough to lend you some money whenever you need it. But here's the thing. He doesn't lend it for free. He's going to want something extra in return for letting you borrow his money. This extra little thing is called APR, which stands for annual percentage rate. So now let's break it down. So let's say Charlie's APR is 20%. This means for every $100 he lends you, you're going to need to give him back an extra $20 as his fee. That's because 20% of $100 is $20. So you borrow $100. If you don't pay back the $100 at the end of the month, you're going to owe Charlie $120. So let's talk about how this fee works each and every month. Now again, this is if you don't give back Charlie his full $100 you borrowed at the end of the month, he's going to add that $20 fee. So if you borrowed $100, after a month you'd owe him $120. The $100 you borrowed plus his $20 fee is where you get the $120. So if you're not able to pay back him the full $100 at the end of the month, let's say you can only pay him back $50 the next month, he's happy that you gave him half the money. But here's the catch. That extra fee is now going to kick in. So even though you paid him $50 the next month, you're now going to owe him $70. So the extra $50 that you borrowed plus his $20 fee. All right, so you borrowed $100. You weren't able to pay back the full $100 at the end of the month. So he added his $20 fee. You paid him $50. So now you're going to owe him $70. So if you keep paying back Charlie a little bit each month, the amount you owe him is going to go down. But that extra fee is going to stay the same until you paid off everything you borrowed from him. So to sum it up, APR is like the little extra fee for borrowing money. It's not going to change if you pay back a little, but it's important to pay back a little each month to make the amount you owe go down over time if you're not able to pay back the full amount. Now again, if you borrow $100 and you're able to pay it back, it's going to go down. All right, so now let's talk about balance transfers, which is going to be vitally important for you in the future. Like, let's say that you have a credit card with a high balance on. Let's say you have $10,000, or let's just use $5,000 to make it simple, since that's the example we're going to use here. Let's say you have $5,000 on a high interest credit card where you're paying, I don't know, 26, 30% of interest on that credit card, and you want to be able to have the ability to apply for a credit card where you can move that money to a 0% and then be able to pay that $5,000 off over time. Okay, so let's go over how balance transfers work with a 0% introductory rate. So let's break down the concept of an APR for balance transfers with an introductory rate of 0% rate and then an APR of 19.24 after that 21-month intro period. Okay, so imagine you have a friend. Now we're going to call this friend Balance Transfer Benny, who's going to help you move around your debt. So Benny's feeling generous. So he says you don't have to pay him back any extra fees for the first 21 months when you transfer your balance over to him. Now, let's say that you transfer $5,000 to Benny. He's not going to charge you any extra finance charges during this time. However, depending on your friend, they're usually going to charge you a 3 to 5% of a transfer fee of the total amount that you transferred. So it's like Benny's letting you borrow money without adding any extra finance charges, but he is going to add an extra transfer fee. Okay, so for this example, you transferred over $5,000 to Benny. He's going to charge you a 5% transfer fee, which $5,000 plus 5% is going to be $250. Okay, so when you transfer over $5,000, you are going to owe Benny $5,250. Now, it's important to note when you're looking at transferring money from one credit card to another with that transfer fee and the ability to pay it off over time, is that fee still going to be less than the interest that you would pay on that other card paying it off over the same amount of time? Because you don't want to be in the same situation applying for a new card just to have the same amount of money that you have to pay back. Okay, so it's important to look at that as well. So what's going to happen after the intro period, after that 21 months? Okay, so after the 21 months, Benny decides that he's going to want to charge you something extra for his trouble. All right, he gave you $5,000 of money free and clear, but if you don't pay it back after the 21 months, he's going to want some extra money back in return. And in this case, he says he's going to charge us 19.24% interest. Okay, so this means that starting from month 22, if you still owe Benny some money, he's going to charge you an extra 19.2% on the remaining balance. Not the full $5,000 you put in there, but the remaining that you haven't paid back. Okay? So again, you transferred $5,000, but you were only able to pay back him $2,500 within that intro period. Okay? So again, you borrowed $5,000 from Benny, you transferred it over to his account. You weren't able to pay back the full $5,000. However, you were able to pay back $2,500 in that first 21 months. So Benny's very happy that you paid back him half, but after the intro period, now he's going to throw on that 19.24 extra percent. So how is that going to work? Okay, so Benny's going to calculate the 19.2% of the remaining balance that you owe, which is $2,500, and add that extra each month until you pay off the extra $2,500. Okay, so not the full $5,000, but the $2,500. This is the extra fee, which in the credit card world is called APR. Benny, for letting you keep his money, he's going to want that extra money. So let's dig into this a little bit more, as this is very important to understand. After 21 months, you have a remaining balance of $2,500. Okay, so to calculate this out, you're going to take the 19.24%, which is the annual rate. To find the monthly interest, you're going to divide that by 12, the number of months in the year. So the monthly interest rate would be approximately 1.6033%. Okay? If you apply the monthly interest rate to the remaining balance of the $2,500, the monthly interest charge would be approximately $40.08. Okay, so that's $2,500 times 1.6033%, and that's how you get a monthly interest charge of $40.08. Okay, so let's say that you pay back Benny $200 next month. The remaining balance becomes $2,340.08. Okay, so it's $2,500 plus the $40.08, which that's the interest rate, minus the $200 you paid him, gives you a remaining balance of $2,340.08. So the next month, the interest is calculated on the new remaining balance, so it would be slightly less than the previous month. This process is going to repeat each month as you continue making payments. The remaining balance decreases and the interest is calculated on the new lower balance. So over time, more of your money is going to go towards reducing the principal and less is going to go towards paying the interest. It's important to note that these calculations are simplified and the actual amounts may vary depending on the specific terms of the credit card agreement and the exact method of the credit card issuers used to calculate how they calculate their monthly interest. So it's very important that you look at your financial terms and agreement statement when you apply and when you get those new credit cards, when you're doing any type of agreement with a credit card for a balance transfer or just getting a new card. Okay? So in summary, it's important to be aware of the intro period on the APR in which you will be responsible for if that full balance is not paid off in that intro period time. Okay? So paying off as much as you can during the 0% period to avoid the higher interest charge later on is vitally important. That's the reason why you transfer this money over in the first place, right? To avoid the high interest rate of the previous credit card where you had that high balance, you transfer over to 0% to be able to utilize that 0% versus the high interest rate on the other credit card. You don't want to get in the same boat with the new credit card. So my recommendation to you is to set up an auto payment. Either with your credit card online account, you can go in there, they have an automatic payment you can set up, or directly from your bank account that you can set up an automatic online payment to go to your credit card company each and every month within that time period. So you set it up, forget it, and then it's automatically going to pay and you don't have to worry about coming at the end of that intro period and still owing money, right? So for this example, if you transferred over $5,000, all right, we're gonna say the transfer fee is 5%, so it leaves you with $5,250. We're gonna divide that over 20 months just to make sure that we're within that 21-month period or 22-month period, whatever it is. We want to do an extra month early just to make sure we can pay it off. That gives you $262.50 a month. So this is what we're gonna create your automatic payment for each month, either on your online account with your credit card company or on your bank account. We're going to schedule a payment of $262.50 each month to go out automatically without us thinking about it to ensure that we take full advantage of that 0%. Okay? So credit cards can be valuable financial tools when used responsibly. Understanding the terms, the fees, how interest rate works empowers you to make the informed decisions. Building and maintaining a good credit score opens up the doors to better financial opportunities in the future by using credit cards wisely. Okay, you can enjoy their benefits while safeguarding your financial well-being. Well, we made it, guys. We made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And understanding how your credit cards works is so important because having the ability to apply for credit and get credit whenever you need it is just so important and vital to your financial future, and it's going to make things so much easier for you. So it's been a real blessing, a real honor to have you on this journey with me. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave it in the comments below. But again, I appreciate you. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like our channel, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you on the next video. But thanks again for watching. I do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, so thank you so much. Have an awesome day.